Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to another Toon Tuesdays episode. So this is the weekly roundup I do for Newcastle United. If you have missed the last two episodes, then make sure you go and check them out down in the description. So, what has been going on this week for Newcastle United? Well, first things first, World Cup winners in the squad. I know, under 20s, Woodman and Armstrong won the World Cup for England under 20s. And obviously, if you guys haven't seen it, Woodman actually made a save in the final that kept us, well, basically won us the game. We were winning 1-0 and he made a save to stop it going 1-1. And then, yeah, under 20 World Cup winners. What do you guys think of these two? Let me know down in the comments. We know they've obviously been knocking around for a little while. Armstrong, we know, has been out on loan and so on. It's a funny one with young players because you want to get them involved in the squad as soon as possible, but when they're not quite good enough, it makes for like you don't want them sitting on the bench all year, but then at the same time, at what point do they push into the squad? But then when you look at someone like Rashford at Man U, you know, he came in, really was more of like, he came in because someone was injured, but he was a bit talented, so they gave him a go. And now that Ibra's gone, he could even be classed as their number one striker. Sticking with the World Cup theme, and Mitrovic scored a goal against Wales to draw 1-1. Yeah, so Wales were winning 1-0 and Mitro got a relatively late goal to draw the game 1-1. And Serbia, his country, are top of their group. So a very, very important goal for him and his country. I think Serbia are top, Ireland second, and I think Wales are third now because of that draw. So yeah, Mitro's doing it for Serbia. I'd love it. Obviously, there's like talk of like, is he staying? Is he going? Same with Murphy. If he could come and score goals for us in the Prem next year, I'd very much appreciate it. Speaking of Mitro and obviously the striker situation, it's been said that apparently Rafa is happy to listen to offers on Murphy, and Murphy said he is also happy for that to happen. Obviously, I've done my transfer rumours and stuff. I'll do a couple at the end of this video, but the striker situation just continues on because, as we know, Rafa plays one up front, which presumably will be Gale, and then what is in line behind him is anyone's guess at the minute, which is why there's talk of Premier League teams being interested in Mitro. Don't necessarily want it to go, and then obviously I think Rafa's just keeping his options open with player like Murphy, and I don't think Murphy will want to go, even if he doesn't get a huge amount of game time. I think he'd still rather have his chance in the Prem. But at the same time, he needs to keep his options open because you never know who might want to come in for him, and it might be a good offer to suit him. So yeah, that striker scenario just keeps carrying on. And then while we're on that as well, the transfer rumour that I've mentioned possibly in every Toon Tuesday I've done so far is Abraham from Chelsea. Obviously the talk was, is it going to be a loan deal? Is it going to be a purchase? It's looking like a loan deal. And then we also, well, it seemed that it was between us and Brighton. It seemed that he picked us over Brighton, but then it still seems that there's like that confusion as to what his place will be in the team. With Brighton, they obviously have a more fluid, like, two attackers formation, whereas we have the one. And if Abraham knows he's coming to us and Gale's going to be number one, and he wants to play a lot of games, then it doesn't really suit him. Although I'd love to bring him in for a season on loan, like, why not? Obviously, Gale's had his injury problems. If we can bring in backup, that'll be fantastic. But obviously, in his head, he just doesn't want to commit when he might not get much game time. So yeah, let me know what you think about that. And carrying on with the transfers, someone I mentioned a little while ago was Delph. Good target for us, I think. And Man City have apparently said they're willing to listen to bids around 12 million. 12 million for Delph, I think, is probably a decent deal. He's Premier League experienced. The only caveat I've got with it is he hasn't really had much game time at Man City. Is he still as good when he arrived at Man City and then had like that span of not much game time. I'd much rather have him on a loan, see what he does. If he does well, then yeah, we'll pay for him. But just that loan is almost like a trial, just to make sure we're not just throwing money at nothing. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens with that. A couple of other ones, we've been linked with Ings from Liverpool. Obviously he moved there and then had some injury troubles, never really got a game. So he's a new one that's come on the list. It's another striker though. So we're bringing in like all this chat of strikers. I don't really know how it's going to pan out. And then to finally mention Pepe Reina again. So obviously this has been battering on for a little while, and I'd hoped if we were going to get him, we would have had him by now. So apparently the situation is, which is what I thought it was, is he wants to know his position at Napoli before he like leaves. Like if he's Napoli number one, I think he's happy to stay. But we know Napoli are interested in looking at other goalkeepers, which is why we've been linked to him. So I think he's happy to come to us, but if Napoli want him, he'll stay. Apparently it's Diego Alves. Is the player that Napoli are looked to be interested in bringing in. And I think if they did bring him in, then we could see Reina coming to Newcastle. But it's all just ifs and buts at the minute. Nothing is really confirmed really for any transfers, except Atu. We've definitely got him. And finally, the bit you've all been waiting for, there could be a Chinese takeover at Newcastle. So this is obviously the most recent news that's kind of been flooding in. I don't know how to feel about it just yet. Obviously, Mike Ashley's had his... Well, it hasn't been great, let's all be honest. But it's just so strange that he finally pumps the money in, like, gives us some money to spend. Rafa's doing a good job. It looks like he's going to give Rafa the spending money, although it is yet to be seen, to be fair. And now, apparently, there's Chinese takeover going to happen. Ashley did say that he wasn't going to leave until we won something. So does the championship count? Maybe. So he could be on his way out. The only thing that slightly worries me is that we are, like, generally, although Ashley has been pretty useless across his entire time at Newcastle, we're actually in a position where we've got a great manager and he's willing to just give him the money to spend. So if that's true, then is it worth risking it for like a Chinese takeover? Yes, the Chinese could come in, or whoever it is could come in and say, here's 500 million, Rafa, buy whoever you want, go and buy Messi. You know, that could happen and we would all be very, very happy. But he could come in and it could go wrong, because there has been certain clubs that it has gone wrong for them as well. So above all else, let me know what you think of this one. Obviously our new sponsor, Fun88, that is like an Asian company as well. So could that be a link to what was going to happen with the takeover? Or is it just a coincidence? And the final mention, Premier League fixtures are out tomorrow. So we'll have to discuss it next week. But we're going to finally find out what Newcastle's fixtures are for the Premier League. What are the bets on one of the top 6 clubs away from home? Because that seems to happen every season. So we'll have to find out. And then obviously the new Newcastle shirt or strip is also out this week. So I'm looking forward to getting my hands on that. But yes, I hope you guys have all enjoyed the video. Do drop a like if you are enjoying the series. And do subscribe if you are new. Plenty of videos out this week as always. So yeah, thank you for watching. And I'll catch you later.